12:00 p.m., October 23, 2025, South China Sea. The midday sun glints off endless blue water as the USS Princeton, a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser, cuts through calm seas at 18 knots. Her radar mast turns slowly steady as a heartbeat. This is supposed to be another routine freedom of navigation patrol under the Nimitz Carrier Strike Group, a simple exercise in presence and professionalism. But the ocean is rarely quiet for long. At exactly 12:03 p.m., the SPY-1D radar paints something unexpected. A fast, high-reflectivity contact appears at 200 kilometers vectoring straight toward the American formation. Within seconds, the plotters in the Combat Information Center confirm the classification: People's Liberation Army Navy Type 52D Destroyer, hull number 173, call sign Jon Chong. Inside the CIC, the Tactical Action Officer calls it out: contact accelerating 18 to 30 knots in under 90 seconds. Course 240, direct intercept. The bridge goes still. Captain Robert H. Dwyer studies the screen eyes narrowed behind polarized lenses. Maintain ROE. Log everything. Hail once, then go active. The communications officer opens an open frequency channel in both English and Mandarin. Unidentified PLA Navy vessel. This is United States Navy warship operating in international waters. Maintain safe separation. You are closing distance at high speed. No response. Only static. Through binoculars, the lookouts catch the faint white wake of the Chinese destroyer slicing southward at full throttle. Sunlight flashes off her twin radar arrays. The hull number becomes visible. There's no mistaking her intent. At 1207, the range drops below 30 nautical miles. The CIC marks a new CPA, closest point of approach, just 5 miles and shrinking. In naval terms, that's spitting distance. The tension thickens. Every crewman aboard the Princeton knows how fast a close intercept can turn hot. From the adjacent command screens, the Princeton's Aegis combat system hums to life. Surface tracking radars lock into precision mode. The SLQ-32 electronic warfare suite begins recording every pulse coming off the Chinese destroyer's radar. A digital fingerprint that will be sent straight to Pacific Command. Captain Dwyer glances at the tactical clock. Time to weapons range. 14 minutes at current speed, sir. He nods once. We'll see how badly they want to embarrass themselves. Out on deck, sailors tighten helmet straps and check lashing lines. The heat radiating off the steel deck could fry an egg. Overhead, an E-2D Hawkeye loiters high at 25,000 feet, watching the entire region like a hawk. The voice of the air controller filters over the command net. Air picture clear for now. Chinese carrier group detected north-northwest, probable Shandong. The captain doesn't look up. Of course it is, he mutters. At 1210, the Chinese destroyer edges inside 20 nautical miles. Her wake flares bright white behind her stern. No fishing boats, no merchant traffic, just 2 warships, now locked on reciprocal courses in open blue water. In the CIC, the electronic warfare officer reports a new omission. Sir, we're getting narrow-band radar sweeps from their forward array low-power search mode. That's the line. It isn't a weapon lock, but it's targeting behavior. The Princeton's crew knows it. Captain Dwyer issues one more measured order: go to general quarters, keep all weapons cold sensors hot, red lights flare throughout the passageways, hatches slam. The cruiser shifts from routine to combat readiness in seconds. By 1212, the atmosphere is electric. Radar operators track vector shifts, technicians record every ping, and gunner's mates stand ready at the 5-inch mount. On the bridge, the captain's voice cuts through the silence. They're testing us. Let's make sure they remember the results. The Princeton holds course calm, deliberate, unflinching. Her radar dome glows faintly in the sun, painting a perfect picture of the incoming destroyer. Every second is logged, every decibel recorded, every bearing locked in. Somewhere beyond the horizon, on the deck of a Chinese warship, another captain is staring back through his own lenses, trying to decide If this is the day he blinks. 1, 2, 1, 4 p.m. CPA now 3.6 nautical miles. One wrong move and the world will have its next headline. 1215 p.m. The tension aboard USS Princeton is so thick you can almost hear it hum beneath the electronic whine of the consoles. The bridge windows blaze with tropical glare, and out on the horizon a gray silhouette grows sharper bow wave, cutting hard radar masts, glinting like twin blades. Contact steady, bearing calls the surface watch officer. Range 18 nautical miles and closing. In the Combat Information Center, the voice of the Tactical Action Officer stays flat, calm, rehearsed. Cooperative engagement capability online. Strike group network confirmed. Sharing track data now. Across the fleet, the USS Nimitz carrier and her escorts instantly receive the same tactical picture. Dozens of digital icons bloom on their radar scopes linked through encrypted Link 16 networks. Each ship knows exactly what the Princeton sees and what it doesn't. 1217. The Nimitz's flight deck erupts into motion. Steam vents from catapults. Yellow shirt directors wave their paddles as FA-18E Super Hornets taxi into position. Launch the cap, the air boss orders. Within minutes, 4 aircraft scream into the sky, climbing into the blinding white glare above the sea. Meanwhile, the destroyers Chung-hoon and Kidd swing outward, sliding into flanking positions around the carrier classic protective posture. The group forms a rotating shield wall. 1219. The E-2D Hawkeye, orbiting at 25000 feet, picks up a new signature. Multiple air contacts bearing 072, range 180 nautical miles, launching from Shandong carrier, the radar operator reports. The CIC quiets. Everyone knows what that means. J-15 fighters are inbound. Captain Dwyer doesn't blink. Acknowledge. No change in posture. Log every track. As the Chinese jets climb, their radar emissions bloom on the Princeton's spectrum analyzer. The SLQ-32 electronic warfare suite captures every frequency, storing it for analysis. Every ping, every pulse, intel gold for Pacific Command. Growlers are up. Comes the next report from the Nimitz. EA-18G electronic warfare aircraft streak toward the fight, their underwing ALQ-99 pods already humming. The air around them crackles as they unleash wideband jamming. And suddenly chaos blooms, but only for one side. On Chinese radar scopes, the American formation multiplies: ghost ships, false returns, phantom fighters. The Princeton's actual position fades behind digital fog. Electronic countermeasures holding, says the EWO. Their fire control can't lock. 1222. The Jon Chong changes tactics. The destroyer slews 10 degrees to port, cutting diagonally across the Princeton's projected course. Her intent is unmistakable pressure by proximity. The radio crackles again. In Mandarin-accented English, U.S. warship, you are operating in Chinese waters. Leave immediately. Captain Dwyer replies evenly. Negative. This is international water. Your aggressive maneuver is unsafe. Maintain course and speed. No response. Only the growl of twin diesel turbines echoing over the horizon. At 1225, the tension spikes again. The Princeton's radar detects another contact, low, fast, metallic. Possible submarine periscope wake bearing 165 calls sonar. The CIC cross-checks type 039 diesel-electric submarine, noisy, close, and careless. Range 80 nautical miles and closing slowly. Captain Dwyer's answer is simple. Tag him. We'll keep him honest. Back topside, the ocean stretches calm and endless, but everyone feels the invisible geometry tightening. The destroyer from the west, fighters from the north, and a submarine creeping up from the south. The Americans are in a three-sided box. Then at 1227 p.m., everything shifts. The Princeton's passive sensors pick up a new signal, pure, focused, and unmistakable. Type 346 amperes phased array radar in fire control mode. The Chinese destroyer isn't searching anymore, it's targeting. Fire control illumination detected, the EWO shouts. In an instant, the room changes. Red lights flare. defensive systems spin up. SM-6 and SM-2. Missiles arm within their launch cells waiting for the captain's command. Time of lock. 30 seconds and holding steady. Captain Dwyer's jaw tightens. Maintain weapons hold. Document everything. Out on the horizon, invisible radio waves slash across the sea, the electromagnetic equivalent of aiming a loaded gun at someone's head. Sir, recommendation to counter-illuminate the Tau, says quietly. Dwyer shakes his head. Not yet. Let them blink first. Tension. Silence. Every sailor aboard the Princeton knows that one wrong move now means missiles in the air within seconds, and then lock release, says the EWO. They've dropped illumination. A slow breath ripples through the CIC. Relief mixes with adrenaline. Captain Dwyer breaks the silence with the same calm that started it all. They wanted a reaction. We just gave them discipline. But it isn't over, not yet. The radar officer leans forward, eyes narrowing. Sir, J-15 seconds are approaching Mach 0.9, altitude 14,000 feet, range 50 miles. The captain glances at the clock. Then we're about to see how far Beijing really wants to push this. 1230 p.m. The South China Sea is bright, cloudless, deceptively peaceful. On radar screens aboard the USS Princeton, the chaos looks mathematical, green arcs, fading tracks, pulsing icons, but every symbol represents a real machine of war, moving fast and closing distance. J, 15 seconds, now 40 miles out, reports the air controller. No weapons release detected. Captain Dwyer nods his tone. Steady. Maintain present course. Stay on the record. Above, the fleet contrails shimmer against the midday Sunday American FA-18E Super Hornets climb into intercept position wings, glinting silver in the heat haze. They fly in wall formation, 3 altitude tiers stacked like a staircase of steel. Their pilots aren't looking for a fight, but they're ready for one. 1, 2, 3, 3. The Princeton sonar station breaks the calm. Subsurface contact bearing 159, range 15,000 yards. Snorkel detected. Contact classified as probable type 39 amperes. A quiet chuckle ripples across the CIC. The Chinese submarine is so loud it's practically announcing itself. One sonar tech mutters under his breath. He's making noise like a freight train. Dwyer doesn't smile. Hold course. Keep him boxed. Aboard the USS Nimitz, the tempo changes again. Steam erupts from catapults 1 and 2. 48 aircraft launch in a controlled sequence, Growlers, Super Hornets, and Hawkeyes, forming what one pilot later calls a storm of wings. The carrier's deck vibrates with thunder as engines roar. The Growlers go to work, first spinning invisible webs across the sky. Their ALQ-99 jamming pods emit signals that ripple through Chinese radar like a digital earthquake. On the Shandong's command screens, ghost contacts multiply by the dozen. Targets merge, vanish, then reappear. The Chinese formation is suddenly blind. Meanwhile, the Hawkeyes orbit high above their massive radar domes, spinning, commanding the air battle like chess players moving pieces in silence. Every American aircraft sees what every other aircraft sees. Link 16 data sharing in perfect harmony. At 1240, the J-15 seconds realize the trap. Their radar feeds are scrambled, communications fragmented. Fuel levels drop faster than expected. Ski jump launches from the Shandong mean lighter payloads and shorter range. Their pilots are sweating radios, crackling with confused Mandarin chatter. Down below, the Princeton holds its line, the calm eye inside a widening storm. Her SM-6 missiles remain sealed in vertical launch cells, but targeting solutions are live computed, tracked, and waiting. Captain says the TAO J-15 seconds dropping altitude looks like they're disengaging. Copy. Dwyer replies. Maintain record and shadow retreat vector. 1, 2, 4, 5. The electronic fog begins to clear. The Chinese destroyer Jon Chong reduces speed to 15 knots and turns westward. Her radar arrays stop sweeping, replaced by silence. The submarine to the south, levels out, retreating into deeper water. For the first time in nearly 40 minutes, the ocean feels still again. But Dwyer isn't finished. Signal the Hawkeye to mark every emission and timestamp. I want a complete package to 7th Fleet by 1800. The CIC crew moves with quiet precision, collecting, tagging, encrypting. Every byte of data will be dissected later: radar frequencies, engine harmonics, communication fragments. To a casual observer, nothing happened here today. But for intelligence analysts, this encounter is gold. 1:00 p.m. Out of nowhere, a new contact surfaces 6 nautical miles north of Shandong. The IFF signature blinks friendly. It's a Virginia-class attack submarine, U.S. Navy. And she's surfacing on purpose. On Chinese decks, binoculars snap upward as a dark hull breaks through the glistening sea. Water cascades off the sail as the submarine's flag unfurls in the sunlight, stars and stripes fully visible. She holds there for less than 90 seconds, long enough for everyone to see her and take pictures. Then, as suddenly as she appeared, she dives again, sliding beneath the surface without a trace. It's not an attack. It's a message. We own the undersea domain. Back aboard the Princeton, the captain watches radar returns dissipate one by one. All Chinese contacts moving west, reports the CIC. No further aggression detected. Dwyer exhales slowly. Then it's over. The bridge crew remains silent. Nobody cheers. Nobody relaxes. They just log the moment and move on. That's what professionals do. 3:00 p.m. Officially, the Chinese state media will call it a routine naval exercise. Washington will say the Princeton operated lawfully in international waters. But both sides know the truth. This was a test, and Beijing blinked first. 4:00 p.m. The carrier strike group resumes its original course, engines thrumming in steady rhythm. Above them, the sky is quiet again. No contrails, no radar noise, just the faint echo of jet wash fading toward the horizon. For sailors aboard the Princeton, the adrenaline lingers, but so does something else: pride. They didn't fire a shot. They didn't need to. Precision, discipline, and presence did the job. In the captain's log, the final line reads, "No damage, no loss, mission complete, message delivered." This encounter won't make headlines, but its lesson will echo through every wardroom in the Pacific. Dominance isn't always measured in missiles fired, but in how long you can hold the line without blinking. The South China Sea remains the world's most contested stretch of water, a chessboard of ships, submarines, and signals. But on October 23rd, 2025, one cruiser proved that restraint, backed by readiness, still rules the waves. So what do you think? Should the U.S. Navy respond more aggressively when locked by a foreign radar, or is strategic calm the smarter weapon in a gray zone war? Drop your take in the comments, subscribe for more real-time naval breakdowns, and join the fleet to support the channel directly. Because out here, strength isn't about who fires first, it's about who never flinches.